From a violent examination of a marriage on the rocks, to a very particular skill set ideal for getting payback, to plot twists that'll satisfy your soul. Here's a rundown of some of the best revenge movies out there. Let's begin with the cool and cold Gone Girl. Done with a seemingly clueless husband, Rosamund Pike and Amy Dunn devises an immaculate plan to make him pay for cheating on her. You see, Amy's a cool girl and Nick, her better half, has gotten the best of her. But since he isn't appreciative, well, Amy's gonna make him regret it. Her revenge plot keeps you guessing every step of the way, and the lengths that she goes to are truly extraordinary. The madness mounts as the minutes in the movie pass, and it's incredibly entertaining and nerve-wracking at the same time. But apart from the action, the film also explores anger in women that hasn't been communicated effectively enough in cinema. Some of them you just better not mess with. Moving on, it's a tale that's already made it to the classics. Gladiator. This one will transport you to the Roman Empire in all its glory. Russell Crowe portrays the Roman general Maximus, who's betrayed by Emperor's deceitful son named Commodus. His family suffers a brutal fate on Commodus's command, and this fuels a desire for swift revenge. But Maximus is a military mastermind, and he knows how to lead the Roman people against oppression. And what happens once Rome hungers for blood is a sight to behold. Rome's a fickle character, and she's got a will of her own that can be demonstrated through the people loyal to her. And Maximus won't rest until he's inflicted the sort of pain he's been forced to endure. Expect a visual treat coupled with Ridley Scott's masterful direction, and Russell deserves the Oscar he earned for this performance. Now, next up is a movie that mixes revenge and suspense. Memento. Nolan made his breakthrough with this film about an insurance investigator named Leonard Shelby, played by Guy Pearce. You see, he's on a mission. He wants to find and punish the man who violated his wife's honor and murdered her. But he's got a problem. The man who did it also gave him anterograde amnesia, which means he's incapable of making new memories. But Leonard's got his ways, and the movie gets into how revenge can fulfill something within a person who's got nothing left. Plus, the whodunit will leave you in total shock. You're gonna need a lot of concentration for this one, but I promise it's gonna be worth it. After all, Nolan in his element is a remarkable filmmaker. Next, it's a movie almost synonymous with revenge now. Taken. No matter how many revenge films you watch, Taken's straightforwardness is a staple in the genre. The premise is simple. Brian Mills is a retired CIA agent whose daughter's kidnapped while vacationing in France. Right at the start of the movie, in an iconic phone call, Brian tells the kidnapper in the audience what's gonna happen next. And here's the brilliant part. Even though the viewer knows that Brian got a very specific skill set,
Honey.
seeing him use it keeps you hooked completely. But more than that, the story involves you so much that all you want to do is see Mills' daughter be freed. The means cease to matter. No doubt there are many subtler revenge stories out there, but Taken reignited this genre with Liam Neeson's action-packed performance. It's already a cult classic and is also gloriously rewatchable. Next on the list is the movie you probably think of when you hear the word revenge: John Wick. It's Keanu Reeves killing people with skill and efficiency. Why? Well, someone killed his wife and dog. That makes him one of the most relatable characters who are out for blood.
Custom bolt carrier release and charging handle. Textured grips, should your hands get.
Cutting-edge body armor. We just sew it between the fabric and the lining. Zero penetration. However,
I know of your past fondness for the German varietals, but I can wholeheartedly endorse the new breed of Austrians. Glock.
Yeah, we've seen Reeves in action before, but this one's different. It's way more intense and has even got an R rating. With 3 films and another one on the way, the franchise is going strong as ever. And the cast is brilliant, with Ian McShane, Angelica Houston, Lawrence Fishburne, and Halle Berry. Additionally, if you're fond of well-executed action sequences, you gotta watch John Wick. It's revenge served best, Keanu style. Next, it's a movie that nothing can prepare you for: Old Boy, a classic film with complex story storytelling in which the big reveal hits like a train wreck. Here's the setup. Odae-Soo is a man who's been kidnapped and put into a cell. He's imprisoned for 15 years, but just as he's about to escape, he's miraculously released. And so begins Dae-Soo's search for the person who put him through hell. While on his mission, he runs into Mido, a young woman whom he immediately takes a shine to. It all culminates in an epic revenge scenario that'll leave you with your jaw hanging. What sets this movie apart is how it isn't an elaborate ploy done for theatrical value. Oldboy explores the characters and their psychological states in great depth too. This makes it a must-watch for film aficionados everywhere, and the violent hit of well-done fight scenes is just the icing on top. But be warned, it's not going to be an easy watch. It's going to make you flinch and rub your eyes in disbelief. But the mystery will just keep you glued to the screen. And next on the list is a movie that got its cultural footprint too. V for Vendetta. Hugo Weaving and Natalie Portman star in this politically charged film in which revenge colors the entire plot. V is a freedom fighter who's on a mission to dismantle a tyrannical government that's wronged him in the past. Based on the graphic novel by Alan Moore, the story delivers some excellent dialogue and action. Also, the acting is top-notch. You might recognize the mask from the film too. It's the same one that's now associated with Anonymous, which is a hacker group famous for fighting against government injustice. Watch if you want to see what it's like to have a conviction tied strongly to revenge. But it's not revenge for the sake of it. There are complex things at play in the plot. Next, it's the infamous The Crow. In this movie, Eric Draven is murdered along with his fiancée on October 30th, which is considered Devil's Night. A year later, Eric's brought back to life by a crow with invulnerability. His main task from then on is to find and exact revenge on the men who ended his life. The Crow is a dark and exciting feature with a compelling anti-hero anchoring the film. It's already well known because the actor Brandon Lee, who played Eric, tragically died on set. Even though some things were changed slightly after his passing, he'd done more of the shooting, and they were able to wrap production with the scenes that had been filmed already. It's a good addition to the list of revenge films. Now, let's move on to the next movie, which is a revenge film disguised as a comedy. The First Wives Club. Three mistreated women team up to take revenge on their ex-husbands. They're all childhood best friends who come together because one of their mutual friends passes away. All three are feeling lost as their ex-husbands begin to cozy up to women younger than them. And so, the First Wives Club comes into existence. Their agenda is to get payback, which they consider justice, by using the mistakes their ex-husbands make to their advantage. The central characters are played by Diane Keaton, Goldie Hawn, and Bette Midler, and their performances electrify the screen. Soon after its release, the movie became an instant cult classic. This outstanding comedy from the 90s remains a great example of a revenge movie too. That's all from my side about best revenge movies